It's time now for Fire Field Vision, powered by NovaCare, as we take a look at the Chicago Fire as they gear up for not only the U.S. Open Cup game, but also Vancouver this coming weekend. Saturday, a 6 o'clock start at Toyota Park. And throughout the show, we've been talking about midfield play. Dax McCarty, it's funny because early in the year we talked, and there were a lot of people questioning, well, how are all these midfielders going to play together? Doesn't seem like there's been much of a problem, has there?
You know, I was one of the people that was wondering how the pieces would fit together, and I think part of it is the fact that guys like what we talked about earlier, that Michael Duluth and Lucho Soloniak have come on in the way that they have, especially I think Michael Duluth. He's a natural forward, plays underneath the number 9, has been willing to go out to that wing and sometimes playing in the middle, switching back and forth with Lucho, and has been effective there. And I think that's a game changer, the way that's worked. And then I think also credit to Juninho, who's not in the starting lineup right now, but has been willing to play that role because the team is rolling. So the pieces have come together because I think the team has come together.
Yeah, and if you look at the last game, you look at the game in New England, you know, where Akam doesn't travel, maybe he's got a little tightness in his groin, and then you play with Juninho in there because you want to be a little bit more compact, you're on the road, you want to have more ball possession and control the game that way, and then you come at home, and then you're playing against a team that you feel you need a little bit of movement, and the guys maybe their ability to break down guys better in 1v1 situations, and then you play a calm. So you have different ways that you can approach the game, and for me, you cannot have enough quality players on a team.
Yeah, we saw a lot of that quality this weekend when they played Orlando City SC. We got a bunch of highlights too, and it's not only offensively, but you know, defense and pressuring the ball leads to the offense, and then we saw that on Saturday.
This is what Paul and I talk about, and I know Paul is gonna. We have some clips, and Paul's gonna go over the clip. But I think the important thing is that without the ball, what are you able to do as a team? You know, and the ability from a mental standpoint, and to get everyone's bought in. You know, because everyone understands what it's going to take, and I think it's the leadership with the guys you brought in to understand that nothing's going to happen except for hard work. You got to put this game behind, and it's hard work every day. And I think this is where the coaching staff has done a great job with this group.
Yeah, somebody asked me a couple weeks ago how I would recommend watching soccer, and I said two things: to watch the space, not the ball, and to watch movement away from the ball. And I think also the fact that Jason Kreis talked about the fact that his team wasn't moving for each other off the ball. They didn't have the legs, they didn't have the energy. That was part of the reason they struggled so much. Well, the opposite is true with the Fire, and it's both when you have the ball and when you don't have the ball. Off the ball movement is key.
The thing, Paul, that I wanted to touch upon too also is that I have not seen, and I talked about it this week, because the Fire have played midweek games.
Yes.
And there were moments where they did not rotate their squad. But I didn't see a team struggle like at Orlando from a physical standpoint. You know, so for me, the fitness guy, the technical team have done an excellent job as far as like when to work and the ability to give the team the rest that they need, because the most important thing when you go on the field, you need energy. If you don't have that, it doesn't matter the best game plan the coach can tell you. If you can't run to be able to do the things that you can, you're finito.
Well, let's take a look at what running can do for you off the ball if you're the Chicago Fire. And for me, it starts defensively. And look at the way the Fire press Orlando. They know Orlando City is coming off a Wednesday game on turf, not a lot of squad rotation. Everyone's quick to the ball. And it's not like everyone's going to the person with the ball. Look at the movement. Different guys cutting off passing lanes, denying options, and that allows the Fire to win the ball, then turn and counter and get a good opportunity here for Lucho Soloniak. And that's team pressing
100%,
right,
Paul. Again, they're able to do it higher up the field. And again, here, look at how compact. There's square passes where they can see stuff. And, you know, Orlando team is going always backwards, and it's just nowhere to go. A little deflection, and then off you go again. And look at just Nico pulling in the back shoulder and making the run to the near post. And here's another opportunity. Everything created because the team was nice and compact and defended well, and then they turned those opportunities into chances. You know, and then again, this might come in handy, just this little combination. This is what I love, just a little give and go, and then just the pace of Lucho. This is where the PK starts, and then the recognition of Akam to make that hard run in, you know, and then Sutter just takes them down. It's a no-brainer. It's a no-call. But everything starts with a quick ball movement, and then movement off the ball, attacking the space, and then the hard runs in the box.
And it's a recognition of your teammates' hard runs too, right? When you're talking about that movement in the wide channels, which is an area you're going to want to attack against Vancouver, Soloniak recognizes that Orlando has pushed up, that they don't have good spacing defensively. He plays the ball inside, and then there's the recognition to play the 1-2 into space where he can accelerate by. And then you're right. We talked earlier this season, Frank, about those hard runs in the box. If you're David Accam or you're Matt Polster, whoever it is on the opposite side, make those hard runs in. Sutter doesn't have the legs to chase Accam. He just takes him down to the box, easy penalty call.
I had to say something. I got excited. I was telling Paul, you got to finish your thought, because I just said, for me, every time I played on very good teams, and the coaches used to say, be an easy guy to play with. Don't complicate the game. But when things are going good, just like you saw in the last game, everybody's moving, everybody's playing for each other, and the guys don't know. If I move, the ball's going to be here. And I think right now, it's been fantastic, and especially you see it all come together in a game like the last game, because when you're an easy player to play with and there's a good understanding, I think things like the last game really come together.
And just quickly, there's different ways to press in modern soccer now. There's the counter pressing, the gegen pressing that you're hearing about in Germany all the time. The Fire are pressing in different ways. Not everyone's rotating to one side of the field to press and try to trap them. It's very, very clear that they have ideas for how they want to press, and that was executed very well in this last game, and it shows that the team understands the goals behind how to press as a unit.